when you think of the idea of taking some still small voice in you that says, I want to learn to paint, and you follow that along and you take courses, and you did this course with me and you practice and you're doing this whole thing, there's something sacred about it, you know? There's something sacred about taking this stuff, these quiet elements of our life, and bringing them and giving them life. Because really, that's why we're here, right? I mean, there's other things of why we're here as well. There's a great quote I heard the other day about the quarry workers. These are the guys that used to get the stones for the cathedrals back in medieval times. And it said, we who cut mere stones must always be envisioning cathedrals. And you realize for those guys cutting the stones, it's such a nuts and bolts, earthbound, practical activity. But the idea that that activity is connected to spirit and they recognize it and do it, I mean, it's just such a beautiful idea in a way. And then, of course, when you see the finished cathedral and you realize, wow, was every single stone there, that consciousness as they cut the stones actually embedded in all the stones as they rise up, year after year in the creation of it. And the thing is, we have a loss of sacredness in our culture. Ever since Descartes and the age of reason and this left brain scientific way of thinking, we've had a reduction in magic. I don't mean magic like Merlin, the magician, but just the sense of sort of mystery and mysticism. All these things we sort of insist on, it's either this or it's that. It's either right or it's wrong, or it's truth or it's fiction, it's like that. And the whole idea of like art and sacredness and seeing the whole, it's a right brain way of engaging with the world. And I have another quote here as well. I don't even know I don't even know where I got it, but it says, temples, cathedrals, epics, plays, and other works of art focus and hold up to a culture what counts as a life worth aspiring to. I mean, I love that idea, that to bring out a culture in its best light, we can say is to articulate the culture. So if you go to the news, you can realize most of the time we are not articulating the best part of the culture, right? It's just in its own, I mean, they've got their own financial needs for making news what it is. I'm not going to go into that. But the idea of that's in the large sense of art having a role of articulating the culture. But each one of us has that role in our own life of articulating the culture that we exist and engage in life. And the word articulate, the AR in articulate, is the same root as art. That word, remember, ours that I said, is to fit. And so in many respects, it's the idea of pulling this small voice of us wanting to make art, a kind of mysterious thing, because it doesn't make any practical sense from a left brain, financial, practical, efficient, all those things. It doesn't fit into any of that stuff. And we don't even want it to, in a way, because they kind of function in a different world. But the mystery or the magic of bringing that out to life and fitting it into the mundane world that we sort of think of as day to day, there's a sacredness to that. And so our search for things that are personally resonant is exactly what means bringing sacredness to life. And I have to go back and repeat again Mary Oliver's quote of attention is the beginning of devotion. This kind of quality of paying attention to why we're doing this and bringing it to bear, right?